That you don't have any big leaks.
Okay.
Let's start over at the panel real quick. You ready?
Yes.
All right, so this is a 200 amp panel. You have plenty of pictures of it on the report on the inside. There is some excessive heat has been shown. So where the two main lines come in, the little bus bars you'll see in the pictures on your report, they're starting to blacken. So just check it every now and then, make sure this panel's not getting hot. It could have been, something prior, but it's called bluing, kind of like a muffler on an exhaust tip. It starts to turn like an oil color when it gets excessively hot. There is double tapping, so you have a bus bar and a bus bar. So copper wires, which are the grounds, can be together. Neutral wires cannot, and there's a bunch of them that are together. So you're gonna have to get someone to come and pull one of the wires out and put in a different place. Two of them together in the same spot. They have small, minute amounts of electricity running through them. So it can cause over time for that screw to back out, and then they'll open up and it'll cause little arcing. And that arcing can eventually cause a fire. So I find this in almost all panels, so it's not a super big deal. I would just make sure somebody comes and takes a look at it real quick.
Okay.
The worst thing, they'll have to just add a little aluminum bus bar and then just put some of them down there if they run out of room.
Okay.
Other than that, everything looks good. You'll have to check these yourself. I'm not allowed to trip breakers to make sure that they're labeled properly.
Got it. Okay.
All right. This is just a clean out for your main drain. In case something was to happen, they can run a snake on it. Alright. So your sub pump is right here. A sub pump has 3 to 4 inch PVC pipes in the ground with little holes drilled in it. When water collects on the outside of the foundation, it drains into here, and kind of like a toilet bowl plunger, it will float up. Once it kicks to the top, it kicks water out. Because that once was sealed, I can't spin that to check the pump, and it doesn't have a relay sensor for me to test it, so it says verify operation that this works. Now, I know it works because you can see water outside where the spigot comes out for it on the backsplash on the ground, so I know it works, but because I can't verify the sound and watch it happen, just get someone to stick something down in there and lift the float up and make sure it kicks on for you.
Okay.
All right. So right here, this is your main water to the house. So this is the main valve. All the way to the right kills water to everything. They add a secondary in case something happens with your pressure, this pressure valve right here. They can isolate the water and remove that without any problems. This is a pressure regulator, regulates the amount of water coming into the home so the pipes never burst. This here is a hose bib for the front. This one over here, I know it's hard to see. You can go on that side real quick. Can you see it? This one, that's the rear. Okay, so in the winter time, you're gonna wanna come in here. You're gonna shut these all the way off, go outside, let all the water run out. Then you're gonna come back in here. You're gonna open this little bleed cap on the side. It's a little cap. You unscrew that little cap, hold a little cup here, whatever little bit of water is remaining in this little vertical line will drain out and you're winterized for the winter. All right?
What happens if you don't?
You have a possibility of the hose bib freezing up and causing the pipes to split.
Okay, so remember to winterize. And when should they start to winterize? At what degrees?
So in Virginia, I always just recommend when you have frost on your car for an entire week, it's time to winterize. Okay. Because if you do it like October and it gets cold for one day and the following week's 70, 80 degrees, then it's pointless to do.
Okay.
But, as long as it's not like 20 degrees outside, you should be all right. I just always recommend when you go out to go to work in the morning and you got frost on the ground for an entire week, it's time to winterize.
Got it.
This is a new water heater. It is a 2023 75 gallon natural gas water heater. I did write it up for low temperatures. They have it set on B, but before I would replace or mess with anything, I would just bump this up and make sure that it gets hotter. You want hot water temperatures to be at least 110. Yours is like 102. But because nobody's here, most of the time they turn these all the way down. Because every little bump you go up, that flame gets that much bigger, that much more gas gets spent.
Got it. Okay.
All right, so this is the controller. This here is the gas valve for it. Anything happens, quarter turn to the right kills gas. Water valve right here to shut the water off to it. This here is a temperature pressure relief valve. It's like a cooktop. So that this thing can never become a bomb, this releases energy when this builds it up. All right, after 2015, they put these on here. This is a thermal expansion tank. It's a second line of defense against this so that this never has to blow off. If water ever starts dripping out of this, call a plumber. The bladder might be bad inside of your expansion tank. Now, because this is new, I do recommend to drain it down at least once a year. You're gonna cut everything off, kill the electric to it, shut the gas off to it, hook a little hose up. You can run it right here to the drain, turn this little valve with a flathead screwdriver, and it'll allow the water to flush out, reverse your process, wait about 30-40 minutes, and then you should be good to go. Now, I did write a comment that your temperature pressure relief valve pipe is not going into your drain pan. So right now, if this was to disperse water, it's going to go into a drain, yes, but it's not going into the containment pan like it's supposed to. I would recommend getting a bigger one, but in all reality, if you're fine with it, I would probably leave it be because it's going to cost more money for somebody to come out here and cut these pipes, lift it up, than it is worth messing with the pan. Maybe just put a little bucket or something right here for now, a little like cooking pan.
Okay.
But that's completely up to you. That is your water heater. Now, over here is a 2001 Goodman natural gas furnace. Average life on this is about 30-35 years. Sorry, average life on a water heater is about 10 to 12 years. Take care of it, they can last, a lot more. So this I wrote up for some corrosion. I wrote that this is missing its latch, so it's hard for it to stay. I had to kind of rig it up, but you can see a little bit of corrosion in it. Everything is working right now. Your AC is working great. It's more than a 13-degree differential. We cannot test heating today because heating is too hot outside, can damage the equipment, can void warranties. So we do recommend before buying the home, get the homeowner to kick the flames on just so you know that it works. Also, if I was to kick it on, because this ductwork's so cold right now, it will cause condensation on all of it, and you can get little droplets on your drywall, and you can also get rust inside your ductwork. So you'll have a limitation comment saying that heating's not tested today.
Okay.
So I wrote all those up. This is the flue to it. It is the higher BTU, so it is piped correctly with the lower BTU unit above it. Gas valves right here, quarter turn to the right, kill gas. This is a condensate drain trap. I don't personally like this style. I like the one that has the little clean out on the top of it. You can get a new section of this for like 18 bucks on Amazon, and it'll be clear, and it comes with a brush. If you do that once a year, twice a year, you're gonna pop the cap off on it, put a little bleach in it, clean this P-trap out, and then flush it out with water. If I was to buy this home, I would remove this and go blow it out with water to make sure this is clean. Because if this clogs out, that's how you get corrosion. The condensation in the coils is dripping constantly, and if this clogs, it goes in here and it rusts this unit out. So I would recommend just spending that 18 bucks to get a clear one so you always know if it needs to be cleaned or not.
Okay.
Let's see if I can get this on here. Not like staying. I would just run a self-tapping screw in it.
Okay.
I might not be able to get it to stay now.
The last time it stayed.
Yeah,
There you go.
I had to rig it up,
Yeah.
but
There. Oh,
it doesn't want to
almost.
stay. I don't know, I'm gonna have to mess with it.
Oh, there you go.
Alright, yeah. It's gonna stay for now, but if it falls off, like I said, I recommend just run a self-tapper in it.
Okay.
Now, your filter size will be on your report. It's a 1625 by 1. I wrote the comment up, and I'm leaving this out the way it is because it's starting to deteriorate, and it's sucking it into the fan. If it sucks it into the fan, it will blow your unit up. So I have a picture showing when this is pushed in, it's pulling it in. So I would get a different, newer filter, slide it in, and then turn on your unit. Because people, what they do is they try to push these on while this unit's active, and it's sucking air. So then they miss the track on the backside, and it sucks it into the fan.
Oh.
So because this was already all like loose, and it was pulling into the fan, I wanted to keep it out.
Okay.
I don't want it to damage the equipment.
Got it.
But that is your systems.
Okay. Great.